Hi again, it's Greg Hughes from 90 Second Website Builder. Welcome to Quick Start video number 13. This session will be short and sweet because this is a simple feature to demonstrate. Throughout my videos, many times as I'm working, you may have seen me say, I'm going to click F5 to preview my work. And I'm clicking the F5 button on my keyboard and a preview of my work pops up in a browser so that I can see what my website's going to look like. But I want to talk to you a little bit about that feature so that we don't take for granted what it's doing and how it really works, because you need to know what it can and cannot do. You'll notice that when we click F5, it's the same as going to this particular menu. If I go to File, Preview, and Browser, all I'm doing is I'm actually watching my website or looking at my website in my default browser. In my case, it's Firefox. But I also have Internet Explorer on my computer, so I could choose that browser. Or I can even add other browsers. Like if you wanted to add Google Chrome to the list, you could do that by clicking this button and then locating Google Chrome on your computer. I usually, at this point, just use these two for now. So when I'm clicking F5, what I'm really doing is making a shortcut. I'm just basically going to my default browser. But what's very important to know is when you're clicking F5, which I'll do again, all you're doing is you're previewing one page of the website. Now, it's important to note that we're not online. We're actually just looking at it through a browser window on our local computer. You can see by looking at the address that we're not online. We're just looking at a temporary file that the software has generated so we can preview what the page looks like. This is not an actual online page. And that does make a difference because there'll be some objects that just won't show. Some objects just have to be online in order to work. For example, if we are working with PHP or forms or anything more complex, we really need to publish them to test them. But clicking F5 is a great way to look at one page so I can see some of my stuff. Like a YouTube video works fine when I'm in preview mode because it is finding that YouTube on the internet. However, here's something that won't work. When I click to one of my other pages, like Card Tricks, watch what happens. I get an error as if the page doesn't exist. And I know it does. I've built it and it's there. But the problem is, it's not online. So my preview button is only good for looking at the page that's open. However, I can change that. I can go up to File, Preview and Browser, and I can check this option right here. Now what I'm going to do is click this, and you won't see anything happen yet because the window's going to close, the menu is going to close down. But I'm going to click it now, and now let me go back and look at it, and you'll see that it's actually been selected because there's a check mark next to it. That means whenever I click F5, I'm telling the software I want to preview my entire website. I want to be able to look at my navigation and click from page to page. So with that option checked on, that changes what my preview does. Let's try it. So now when I click F5, I'm seeing my current page, but I can also look at other pages. Now, why is that? And why wouldn't it just do that automatically? Because that's pretty handy for me to check my navigation. Well, here's why you don't always want to do that. When you're previewing, the software is actually generating all of these files temporarily. And since I only have a 4-page website in my demo, it really didn't take very long to generate. However, if I had a 100-page website or any super big website, every time I click F5, if I'm going to preview the entire site, I would have to wait for all those files to generate. And so sometimes clicking F5 when you're previewing the whole site, if it's a big site, will take a lot longer to see because you're going to wait for the software to generate a temporary website. So it's best to leave that option off and to just use it when you need to. So I'm going to check it off like this. Let's go check it and make sure that that works. So I went to Preview Browser. Right. See, so now it's unselected. So now when I click F5, I'm just going to look at one page at a time. That's the default setting. Now just know you can always go turn it back on anytime you want to in case you want to check multiple pages. But beware, as your website grows, that feature While it will work, will just take longer because every page will have to be generated. Normally what I do is I just check one page at a time, and then I publish my website to check my navigation. However, with a site this small, it really wouldn't matter. As you could see, when I had it to preview the entire website, it really didn't take long because it's only 4 pages. But that's something that you need to know, and that's the reason why it doesn't always automatically generate the entire website, because it would just eat up a lot of space and a lot of time. So you have that option to control that. So anyway, that's an important feature to know. I'm using that F5 button a lot as I'm designing, and I know a lot of you do. And before you get too frustrated trying to click on your pages and wondering where they are, now you know why. Make sure that you see what that option says in Preview and Browser, and you can look and see where you're set here and control how much you preview.